Welcome to the Real P&L Trading Show, where I share my P&L on 4 separate accounts, and I also share my proprietary safe wheel for free. Those 4 accounts are broken down into 4 different trading systems. That way you can judge and see how that system is doing individually, because I have it individually broken down into each account. First thing I want to do is make sure that everything is up and running. Maybe you guys give me some feedback on my audio, that's working okay. Also, be sure to post any questions that you might have. The broadcast, do it before the end of the broadcast. Sometimes I miss those questions coming in at the end. So I want you to get those questions in. Let's start with the Earnings Edge. This is my Earnings Edge account here. And let's see, you guys should be able to see that on the screen. Let's see here. So currently, let's see, I've already traded TSM, and I'm currently in AXP. So this is the first time you've probably ever seen me actually in a live position, because I've changed the system up a little bit to where I can hold a little bit longer. So you can actually see my results here. This is a closed position. This is an open position. And you can see the P&L, or the Netlick 9038. I'm going to put that into the spreadsheet. Let me pull that over here. 9033. 9033. Oops. And what is SPY trading? SPY is 57698. Well, it's down pretty good since from last week. So you can see how the Earnings Edge has done over time in 2022, 63 versus minus 19, 2023 underperformed, 2024 underperformed quite a bit, 33%, minus 33% versus 23% for the S&P, or for SPY. And then for 2025, so far about 41%, and the market's down 1.46%. Overall totals, I'm up 80%, and the market's up 23% since the beginning of 2022. So we've had this nice this bull run, but since the beginning of 2022, the market's up 23%. So it's not as up as you might think. It's up, 47% in the last couple of years, but it's only up 23% since the beginning of 2022. And you can see that the Earnings Edge is up 80%, over 80%. Of course, there's more risk with the Earnings Edge than holding the S&P. Okay, let's go to my PL5 Pro. This is the Pro. This is where I have a majority of my net worth into this particular trading system. This isn't the only account that I run the Pro with, but this is the one that I use to show people how much money it makes or doesn't make, or whatever it does to show the results. So with that one, let's get into that account. That would be the 527 467. Just call it 467 220. 467 220. It's barely down, a couple $100. 467 220. So for the year 2025, started with $468,509. I'm at 467 220, down $1,289, minus 0.28%, and the S&P is down minus 1.46%. So it is barely outperforming the S&P. But you can see also, I started this trade, this PL5 Pro, on July 19, 2024. And since I started trading it at that time, I'm up approximately $63,000, up over 15% since the middle of July with the PL5 Pro. So you can see up over 15.68%, with the S&Ps up 5.1% in that July 19th, starting from July 19th. Okay, let's talk about how I run the PL5 Pro Lite program. This is a little different. This is the Pro Lite program. And this one I only use ES. I don't use, I use fan margin. This one's easier in terms of being able to qualify to run this. You don't need as much capital. I started this with $30,000. I ended, and that was in the middle of July of 2024. Ended with 33,000, so I was up $3,000 or 10.2% in the last 6 months of 2024, where the market was up 3.94% at that same time frame. So we started with 33,366. I need to log into my account because that is how I'm going to see the results. I'm using Interactive Brokers, so they're sending me something on my phone here so I can get signed in. Notification. All right, so this one I can't show the whole screen because it goes by account number. So I have 32,836 in that account, 32,836. So it's down. It's going down with the market. 32,836. Okay, so you can see the market is down this year in 2025. Just what has this been? 13 days. Market's down minus 1.46%, and the EL5 Pro Lite is up or is down 0.7. So it's outperforming this year. Last year it outperformed 10. Well, that was only a 6-month period, but last year in 2024 it made 10.2% return, where the market was up 3.94. So overall, since I started trading this live, the Premier Level 5 Pro Lite, I'm up 9.45%, and the market's up 2.43%. Now, the goal with this particular trade, or this account, because this account only trades this trade in it, is to outperform the S&P 500. You can see I've outperformed 9.45% versus the S&P at 2.43%. So it's doing what it's been back tested and forward testing the results, which are to outperform the S&P 500. All right, let's get to the safe wheel. What's going on with the safe wheel? Let's see. The safe wheel account is this one here. So no, not that one. The safe wheel account is, well, there's my trade from Friday, by the way. 5,457. 5,457. Last year was not a good year for the safe wheel. 5,457. It's up a little bit from last week. And you can see that the safe wheel in 2025 is down $23 and the S&P 500 is down 8. So the safe wheel is down 0.42%, and of course the market is down 1.46% this year, which is 13 days. And you can see the overall results here. 2022 up 21%, market down 19. 2023 safe wheel up 5%, market up 24. 2024 safe wheel down 14%, market up 23. And you can see the overall results for the safe wheel is up 9.14, and the S&P 500 is up 21.48. So it's underperforming, but again, I had the on a risk-adjusted basis, you could probably double this number to 18 because it's about half the risk or half the drawdowns. So I'm pretty close to the S&P, but underperforming still a little bit with the safe wheel. And I've made the safe wheel trades, every trade on there, except for my little $5 calls that I buy on Fridays. Every single trade I've made live on the live streams in this account. So let's look at this account. I'm trading LI, and you can see here that last week I sold a $24 put, and I got it signed. So I got it signed at $24. LI is trading at $21.70, so it went down pretty significantly. And then I have the $20 put, which is up about $100. So this put here, this put hedge is doing well. It's doing its job. And so let's take a look at the overall. What should I do here? First thing I want to do is manage my hedges. So is my put hedge good First question is, do I own 200 shares? No. Okay, so I don't need to see if the put hedge is paid off. And then the next question is, how many days in trade do I have left here? 158. If I have under 100, I would roll this or get out. And then is this $20 put strike price within 70% of 21.71? I already know it is. That's just, I don't even have to run the numbers. So the put hedge is good. I own this long call. I paid $5 for it. It's a 25.50 call. It's here to protect my put hedge. All right, so now that my hedges are in place and I own 100 shares at the $24 level, the first thing I want to do is see if I can write a covered call against these 100 shares at the 24 strike. So let's take a look at that. And I want to do it in the nearest expiration. And the 24 strike, I want to get at least $24 or 24 cents, and it's worth 4 to 6 cents. So I cannot sell a covered call. I mean, I could sell a covered call, but I'm not going to get enough premium, and I don't want to sell a covered call that's below my cost basis. So I'm basically kind of stuck. Like normal people that are running the normal wheel at this time, they would do nothing. Their capital would be, they wouldn't be able to collect any premium if they weren't running the safe wheel and they didn't have any other capital, ready to allocate. So I can't do anything with those long 100 shares. I have one tier. I'm going to bring in my second tier. So I'm going to sell another put, and I'm going to sell it to where I can get at least, what, 22 bucks. So at the $21 level, I'm going to sell here, and I'm going to do one. So let's see if I can get mid price $24. $21 put. It'll expire at the end of the week. And you can see filled order here. So I just filled that order. So I might get assigned again at $21. Of course, my put hedge is really going to kick in if it goes down below $21, if the price does. So I'm not worried about it. And I'm always ABC, always be collecting premium. I'm always collecting premium. And so I collected another $24 today. So that's one good thing about the safe wheel is you're always collecting premium. And that's what I did today. And that is the trade for today for the safe wheel. Now, before I get into the next, looking over the comments and everything, I want to make an announcement. And let me pull something over here to my screen. I'm going to be running an exclusive live trading web class on how to consistently beat the S&P 500 with the revolutionary PL5 Pro Lite trading system. I'm going to offer this trading system. The cart will be open, but right now the cart's not open. You can't get access to this program, but if you come to this live trading class, you can get access to it. This is for people with $35,000 to $120,000 in your trading or investment account, and you want a proven, back-tested, simple way to outperform the S&P 500, outperform it nominally and on a risk-adjusted basis, and diversify against market crashes. So what you can do is there's a link in the description where you can sign up and register for this event. It's coming up on January 28th. You can either do the 9 a.m. or January 28th, the 3 p.m. webinar. And I'm going to be going over the Premier Level 5 Pro Lite trading strategy. And I'll show you how it's possible to trade this strategy in just 20 minutes a week without subjectivity, guesswork, or becoming dependent on anyone else. You'll discover the 3-step path to performance that makes the Premier Level 5 Pro Lite superior to all trading strategies, and why this strategy is perfect for those already in retirement or those who want to retire early, and why. Also, I'm going to go over why traditional options trading is flawed. So sign up if you're interested in the PL5 Pro Lite. That's coming up. All right, let's get into any questions or comments. FTF City says audio's good. I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know. Shovel, of course, says he's first, but he wasn't. And Shovel says, hit that like button if you think that I'm providing value by actually sharing my P&L. So I have all my accounts set up separately. So I'm running a very specific trade plan in each account. And so you can see how those specific trade plans are happening, how the results are in those accounts based on net liquidation, not based on just realized profits or realized profits. I mean, what is that? I mean, that's not how you evaluate performance. You evaluate performance in a trading account based on the net liquidation. And so I share my net liquidation every week to prove, that this is what I'm doing. There's no way of, not that I've ever tried to hide anything, but I'm not hiding anything. You can see my net lick. You can also see me actually trade this safe wheel system right here in front of you. Let's see, the shovel says the S&P down over 5% since December 1st. Interesting, yeah. So that SPY. Market's not super healthy, I guess you could say, since it hit its all-time high here on the December 6th. You could see here that, it's, what'd you say, over 5%? Let's see what it is right now. Yeah, over 5%. You can see that it's down over 5% from all-time highs. So maybe it'll continue down. Nobody knew. I mean, nobody really knows what's going to happen short term. I mean, even in 10 years from now, you don't know, because we had that lost decade. So probably in 15 years from now, it's going to be higher. That's kind of the only judgment that I might make about price, but you just don't know what the S&P 500 or a stock that you buy or go short, you just don't know what it's going to do. You don't know what the price is going to be. That's why I use quantitative analysis, and I do the trading like the S&P 500 or the PL5 Pro or the PL5 Pro Lite is just totally based on being non-directional. So if I want to be non-directional, if I can not worry about picking a direction, it takes away a lot of stress. It takes away a lot of time and effort because I'm non-directional. So I figured out how to mine that edge, right? The edge of the implied volatility is higher than realized volatility. That's the edge in options selling. And how do you mine that edge? You do it because you're not directional. That's one of the problems with traditional options trading structures is they are directional. The direction overpowers the edge. And so you want to have a trade structure and a trade plan where the direction doesn't overpower the edge. And that would be, one of them would be the PL5 Pro Lite. So register for that if you want to learn more about that. And Avery says, hit that like button. So I mentioned that one of my goals is to have instructors that make promises share their P&L. And because I'm doing that, if you hit the like button, it'll help this video get more exposure. And the more exposure I get, the more that happens, the more that people will realize, hey, my instructor should share their P&L. In order for them to be credible, I want to see their net lick, and I want that out there. And so if you hit the like button, that helps that cause. All right, so that is going to pretty much sum it up for today. And one thing I like to say in parting is, if the P&L is not real, what else are they trying to conceal? I'll be back next week. I appreciate you guys.